But I believe that we are in a battle throughout the whole week. The opposition is constantly seeking to undermine me. We live in that time now. And today, we have a wonderful, powerful word for you. And I believe God's going to speak to us regarding this word. But as I begin to pray and think about some things to share with you, and there's somebody in the back too, by the way. I think about some things to share with you. I think and I believe the Lord spoke to me about talking about the mindset, power of right thinking, power of right thinking. And I believe that God is leading me to start a series on the mindset, the mind. And I had a topic yesterday. I said, this might be a little bit too radical, but I was going to title my message, Are You Out of Your Mind? My series is more about the power of right thinking, but today's title is, Are You Out of Your Mind? Or have you lost your mind? I don't mean that in a derogatory way or in a condescending way. You'll see when I share this message and share some principles with you exactly what I mean by that. But I believe that we are in a battle for our minds. And I'm not excluded from the battle. Are you with me? And let me take you to a scripture. Now, I may preach a little bit unorthodox today, but just bear with me because everything that I give you will still be good. Let's go to Ephesians, the 6th chapter. Ephesians, the 6th chapter. And I want to share some things with you starting there. I have a lot of scriptures, but I probably won't get through half of them today. Because like I said, I'm going to start this series and I plan to continue it on out through December. Because my goal is in 2024, I want our minds to be right and ready. Because the intensity of the spiritual warfare is not decreasing, it's increasing. Are you with me? Let me say that one more time. The intensity of the spiritual warfare that we are facing is doing what? Increasing, not decreasing. I want you to understand this, is that the enemy, I ain't gonna talk too much about him today, but I need you to understand this. He's not gonna take a break from you. He's not going to feel sorry for you if he's beating you. Are you with me? He's not going to be like, man, I am whooping him pretty good. Let me leave him alone. I remember, I'll never forget this. One day I was in the house, and it was somebody, I think it was he had fell down, hurt himself, and I had told him to stop doing something. And I was like, man, see, now you're on the ground, you done hurt yourself. He was whining and crying. And Alex, this was about 2 years ago, he was about 2 years old. He walked over there, kicked him. I said, come on now, brother, you don't kick the man when he's down. I said, he's already down. Don't do that to your brother, that's your brother. I will never forget that, because he did. Well, he ain't gonna never get up if you kick him. And then I secretly chuckled about it. I was like, because he had a face on him too. I was like, I didn't think he could do that at 2 years old. I was like, where did that come from? But it gave me a story, and I'm the kind of guy, you're a real preacher, you don't get a message out of anything. I was like, isn't that something? That's the way the enemy does us. He kicks us when we're down. When you fall, he doesn't let up to give you a chance to call upon the Lord. You just got to force your way through and say, Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. Are you with me? We're in a day and time where you have to press. You have to fight. You have to be aggressive about your faith. Are you with me? It ain't going to get easier. You just have to get stronger. Even myself, I think about, and I'm constantly thinking about ways and things and praying to God. God, how can we reach people and how can we connect and how can we, but the thing about it is, it's not going to come through being passive. You got to fight for every soul. Because the enemy is working triple time to keep people snatched away from the kingdom. Are y'all with me? If you go out here and do a survey and you talk to a lot of people, that are 20 and under, half of them don't even know what a Bible is. Some of them haven't even stepped in church before. We're in a generation that's under us now where their parents didn't even go to church. Maybe for Easter Sunday, Christmas, something like that. But they don't even know the value or the purpose of it, of gathering with other believers and saints. So you don't even start from the foundation of that. You have to now build the foundation and then start from there. So it's a different mindset. We're living in a different time. And now more than ever before, before I get to Gen X and millennials and whatever they call, we have to first fight and maintain our own mindsets. Now, I'm gonna say this again, because I want you to remember this. It's not gonna be easy. Now, I would love for it to be easy. I would love to tell you I woke up this morning feeling jolly as I don't know what. But the truth of the matter is that I woke up already challenged in my mind. Man, I gotta get this message, finalize this message. I gotta get on my knees and pray. I gotta get everything together. It is not that I don't love what I do. I love preaching the Word of God. But throughout the whole week, the opposition is constantly seeking to undermine me to make me a hypocrite of the message that I preach. You see what I'm saying? Now, I have to fight to maintain my mindset because I can't teach you something that I'm not going where I'm not going myself. Are you with me? I thank God for my wife who helps to keep me balanced. I thank God for my mom and people who are in my life that helps me to maintain a balanced approach to life and a positive attitude. But most of all, I thank God for the Word. And I'm realizing more than ever before that it is my obligation and duty to study the Scriptures. Let me read this to you. Ephesians 6th chapter, and let's start at the 10th verse. As a matter of fact, let me read this in the NLT to help we have this great understanding here. Because I want you to remember these scriptures and even meditate on them and read them throughout the week, because this is very vital and very important. Ephesians, the 6th chapter, I'm going to read from the New Living Translation, starting at the 10th verse, and it reads this: a final word, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all strategies of the devil. Strategies. And when you think of a strategy, what do you think about? Tactics. Anybody else? That means that your opposition has a tactic on how to specifically attack you. This is going to be good right here for you. This is going to help you. Now listen to this. Let me get back to the NLT. Against all the strategies or the tactics of the devil, for we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies. Are you with me? We're not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world. Your enemy is invisible, but you see the manifestation of him if you have discernment and you open your eyes, your spiritual eyes. Now listen to this. Authorities of the unseen world against mighty powers in this dark world and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Therefore, put on every piece. You can't afford not to put on one piece. Every piece of God's armor so you will be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. We living in that time now. You got to understand that. That don't mean you ain't blessed. That don't mean God ain't good. That don't mean God ain't gonna take care of you. But everything that you're getting, the enemy is looking and tactically studying how he can take it from you. That's why you got to be covered with the whole armor of God. Are you with me? And put on every piece so you'll be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then after the battle, you will still be standing firm. Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth. Now it's going to tell you what your armor is. Your belt of truth and the body armor of God's righteousness. For shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news, you will be fully prepared. In addition to all of these, hold up the shield of faith to stop the fiery arrows of the devil. Put on salvation as your helmet and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. You can put on everything for your defense, but you have to pick up your sword, because your sword is going to give you your offense. Are you with me? And your sword is the word. You see, there's a lot of good stuff in this book if we dig enough to read it. Now, shield of faith, salvation, the sword of the Spirit. And then it says, pray in the Spirit at all times and on every occasion. You need to be praying all the time. You can't take a break because your enemy is not taking a break. Are you with me? You need to be on guard at all times. Are you with me? It's not that you walk in fear. It's not that you're scared. But you stand ready for battle at all times. See, I'm ready for battle at all times. If a devil want to show up, I don't have to go and get right. I'm already right. I'm ready. And he knows that. That's why he works triple time to try to bring down my thinking, because that's his first attack is in your mind. I've been saved since I was 18. I'm 43 now. I'm still standing. And guess what? I've been too saved too long to give up now. I'm going to go ahead and finish this course on out. Are you with me? Whenever God get ready to call me on home, I'm going to be right here standing. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. See my cousin right there? He's smiling because he knows. He's known me, and he even reminded me to, what do you remember? Pray the whole time. He said, Mike, I remember, man, used to be at Grandma's house or Aunt Rita's house. What time I'll be up in the morning? 4 a.m. Not much has changed. Because I understand that the moment I stop getting up will be the moment that I set myself up to be attacked. You ain't gonna go to war without no artillery. Because that same enemy that was working against me then, as a single man, is trying to work against me now as a married man. Y'all quiet in the building. It's just different battles, but you still fighting the same devil. Are you with me? Different battles, same enemy. It behooves us, or we should be motivated, number one, to get our minds strong and together, but also you need to figure out what these strategies are. Because, listen, I might get in trouble for saying this, but China and Russia, they've been studying us for a while. And we've been studying them too. Y'all quiet in the building. All the great nations are studying each other. They try to act like they all for peace. They all getting ready. They all sending people over to each country, undermining and sending information back. Are you with me? Some of these movies we watch, they are more than just a movie. They telling you a lot. I don't want to get off track, but I started watching. I said, man, you know, my favorite actors is Tom Cruise. Him and Denzel, I think they just phenomenal actors. They can convince you. I was watching Mission Impossible last night. The new one. I said, ain't this something? They was doing the facial recognition. And Tom Cruise walked in there. I ain't gonna mess it up. Y'all ain't seen that movie? I'll just give you one scene. I ain't gonna tell you the end of it. But they thought he was somebody else. But then he pulled off the mask and he became himself. But he looked just like another human being. He was able to utilize the power of cloning and such other things that the technology in that movie is ridiculous. Then I looked on Amazon the other day, or Netflix or Apple, one of the two, and they got another movie coming out about the attack of AI 10 years from today, how they developed a nuclear bomb through artificial intelligence, and they had robots attacking humans. Are you with me? You see, we have to be careful and watchful and mindful and continue to carry your armor. There are some things that are good for us if it's used in the right way. But then those same things could be tainted and used in the wrong way. Are you with me? All right, let me get back to my message so I can finish up here. All right, so now I read the scripture to you. Let me give you a few points and thoughts, and then I want to give you three or four ways, 3 or 4 strategies you need to be careful about when it comes to dealing with opposition. Are y'all with me? One of the greatest revelations of my life is I can choose my thoughts. Say that with me. I can choose my thoughts. You see, I can't stop a bird. I heard this saying, I can't stop a bird from landing on my head, but I can stop him from building a nest there. And I'm of the opinion, I'm going to stop him from landing on my head. I don't even want him around me. But I can choose my thoughts and think things on purpose. You are a very powerful being. And if you have God's Spirit inside of you, you have the ability to use the word and the power of the Spirit to dominate the darkness of the world. That's called kingdom authority. Are you with me? Now listen to this. I can choose my thoughts and think things on purpose. In other words, I don't have to just think about whatever falls into my mind. Nobody can be set free from a problem until they are willing to admit they have one. We are living in a day and time where we are in a battle for our minds and thought life, and the propaganda of the enemy is to captivate and capture your mind to the point where you are actually there, but you don't exist. You there, but you're not there, because your mind is way over here. And so if you are going to win in life, you have to win in your mind. There's no way around it. You can even get lucky and win the lottery, but guess what have happened to so many people who've won the lottery? What happens? They go broke because they don't have the right mindset. Are you with me? How many times have we heard about people who seemingly had everything and they committed suicide? Because they never was able to get a grip on their mind. The mind is powerful. Very, very powerful. And we all have to continue to work on this. So now, let me give you these few points and give you a couple more scriptures here. Number one, we are engaged in a war. I shared that with you earlier. And our enemy is Satan, and the mind is the battlefield. Where are you fighting the enemy at?